CCNTV, bringing you captivating news since 2019.
Hey. I don't know what's going on with that, but hey, we'll work with it. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, the Captivating Christian, along with this guy, Brother Nate. We are here to talk what we talk every Tuesday: news, politics, movies, everything else, and more bullshit. So, without further ado, welcome everybody. Welcome. Of course, your waiter or waitress will be around with your drink of choice. So please drink responsibly because you will be drinking tonight. Okay.
Or smoke responsibly.
Yeah.
Hey, Haitian princess, how you doing?
Hey,
Hope you had a
whatever
nice
you
week.
do- Yes, for sure, Haitian princess. Whatever you do to pass the time, because yeah, it's a lot of shit going down.
Yeah, plus we ain't got
It's
no
all
bail money.
right.
Shit.
It's oil everywhere, motherfucker. It's all everywhere. Don't slip and fall. Don't slip and fall. And y'all
I'm-
talked about me with my coconut oil. Baby oil. Diddy got oil everywhere. I was looking
land
for
on your back, not on your tummy.
I was looking for the Nipsey Russell slide some oil to me because that's basically all this week. Every time I hear it, that's all I'm thinking about. Oil.
You couldn't find it?
No, I could not top enough to like clip it and actually
Oh.
use what I wanted.
What did you use out of it?
Yeah, I just wanted to use the oil, and then when he starts singing, like not the whole thing. I just
Yeah, he was sliding a lot of oil, a whole lot of.
yes. So he can bend and twistle and pretzel
I
and
know he
twerk.
is such a freak.
He is such a freak dick. And here y'all talking about me. See, we was on a page. Like, I mean, I wasn't doing all that, but it's something about the oil, okay? And not the and Astroglide, okay? He was gliding. He was
He
making
broke
sure
out everything.
everybody was
Everything. Now
lubricated.
those were
Okay?
parties.
Yeah.
Those were
Yeah.
parties.
Right. Now,
Whew.
I don't like how they're trying to throw everybody at a party. I'm sure everybody in the industry has gone to a Diddy party because he was really entangled in news and politics and stuff like that, especially around the rock the vote kind of situation.
Yeah.
So yes, we know that the likes of an Obama has been to a Diddy party, but has he been to a Diddy party, a Diddy oil party? I don't think so. I'm sure the man is
No,
smart
that was
enough
the
to know.
after party.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure the man is smart
They
enough to
probably
know.
couldn't wait for his ass to leave.
Right, exactly.
Good. We can relax now.
Now we can relax. Bring the dicks out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, there's no
Cassie,
way.
where you at?
Right.
Oh my God.
We need you to pray over these penises and this oil. Get the pussies out. Pray over these. Let's pray over all the food. Pray over all the food.
There was food there.
Plenty. It was an abundance. An overflow. land of milk and honey, literally and figuratively. Okay. Yeah, poor guy. Shout out as he's going through what he's going through. But do I feel bad? No, that's rich people problems. That's rich people. That's rich people black problems. When you think you're rich enough that you could, in the words of Candy Burst, fly above. I fly above. Yeah, you can't fly too far above, honey, because they always like to let you know you still a nigga.
Every time. That's why he should have hired professionals.
That-
You can't tell your friends to do all that. Somebody's always running their mouth.
This is what I'm saying. Like everybody cannot be trusted. Like what I'm saying. Like you got to keep that circle tight. Jesus ain't teach you nothing.
That was the only thing they had to keep tight.
Jesus ain't teach you nothing. That one Judas will cancel Christmas for everybody. So you got to. You wasn't reading your Bible. You gotta keep your circle tight. Everybody got to be on one accord. The minute one person's like, we should be doing this, you got to go, because you already looking at a vision that I'm not. You ain't following. You ain't following the purpose. He did all that to show us, guys. Let's go. Like if we want to get all religious in the thing, you ain't learned nothing. So anyway,
he got too comfortable. Got too comfortable.
Yeah, but I mean, of course he got comfortable. Clearly, that's an understatement. Talk about getting comfortable and taking your shoes off.
Yeah.
He took shoes
That's
off.
right. You definitely need more drinks, more libation, or whatever drug of choice.
Yeah, or whatever suits your fancy. There's coconut oil on deck, but I don't use it like that. But whatever.
He had to ask, is he vegan? Is that a vegan thing?
Is this organic? Like what is
Yeah.
I don't put on this on my body. All right. So let's get to some news real quick, because we have some stories that we need to run through. And any of these stories you can find. I usually do that whole give you the links or whatever, but it's been a busy week. Okay, work has been kicking my butt. So y'all get this. I did it early. I posted it early, so that way I was able to do what I needed to do and get it out the way. But it's a lot of stuff going on, and we can kind of get through it. And please share your thoughts on any of it. Write it in the chat or whatever, and we could do Alexa.
Yeah, and definitely if you come across any stories that you think we may have
please
missed,
share them. Yes.
Because there is so much.
Yeah,
and we only have 6 eyes between us.
Yeah, right, right.
So it is definitely
and we don't
appreciated.
We don't see everything. There's a lot of things that I see that he don't see, that he sees that I don't see, and I'm like, oh, really? And I'll go back if and kind of skim through it if I have time. But a lot of times we learn things right here with you all. So I enjoy that. We get to crack jokes and make light of heavy situations, which is important because Lord knows you go crazy. But we need to know, right? So all right, let's get started. For those of you morning people that like your little yogurt, I don't know how you say this brand because I don't eat it, but it looked very Caucasian. What the name of their brand is it, and then correct me if I'm wrong, is it Chobana, something like that. It's the white people brand. It's supposed to be like Greek yogurt, all natural. You've seen it in the Costco's and the your food store aisles or whatever. But long story short, they are being sued. Okay, so this one woman who eats it every single day.
She eats it? Maybe she's trying to keep those infections down.
That's what she said.
They got no fruit.
Right. They don't bathe, so you could imagine what she's been doing with it. But however,
supposed to balance all that stuff out.
Right. However, from her talking about how natural, the company promotes how natural ingredients they have and all this kind of stuff. She's been using it for a while, and all of a sudden she started to get a little sick. So she decided, of course, to take herself to the doctor, and then the doctor discovered, oh, there's something going on here. So she started to take some samples, and get them studied. And lo and behold, they got plastic chemicals, cancer-causing agents, all running up in through their yogurt. So much so that the FDA and all of the Food and Drug Administration has put a halt on their product. But I still see their products in the store. So I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Like, they talking about their the chemicals are not only harmful to animals, harmful to humans, harmful to wildlife, the whole fucking planet. Like, these cancer causing plastics and carcinogens and all this other kind of stuff is definitely all up in their yogurt. You can get
in that natural yogurt.
Yeah, and yes, in that natural, all natural, good morning, fills your gut up yogurt. Yeah, fills your gut up with some bullshit. So yeah, intermittent fasting, anyone? I think we should get back to it.
We may not have no choice. You can't afford to shop.
Everybody be walking around here thin and fine.
We looked like the 70s. Remember in the 70s?
Right.
That wasn't by choice. The shit was so raggedy back then.
It's silly. But yeah, definitely you want to check out that article if you do eat the brand. Definitely check that out. Because it is definitely interesting little tidbits in there. So it's a class action suit, and yeah, so you might have some money on the way if you ever bought their products.
It'd probably be $150.
Yeah.
After everybody else signs up.
Right,
I would say sign up early.
Right. Sign up early. So let's talk about this. Now that we're talking about also these that thing, let's talk about other yogurts. Joe Biden.
You get there. Other yogurts. Let me see where you go with this. Other yogurts.
So, former President Joe Biden has announced to the world. I ain't gonna say he just found out because I just don't. And if he did just find out, they just haven't told him till after that he has prostate cancer and basically stage 4 because it pretty much has spread to his bones. Some doctors are saying he only has a couple months to live, this, that, and the other. Now, at first I'm like, how y'all not tell? Who would not tell the president of the United States that they have cancer, right? But I can also see two things. I can also see one side to where in which he knew, and it was like, no, he probably knew early on. Granted, he wanted to win, and he wanted to remain the top person. So you don't tell. You just don't. I'm picking her for my running mate, but I don't want her to be the person. So I ain't gonna say nothing.
Well, he probably thought too she'd get in there regardless. If he won and did you say pick her with that? Both of them are going to still run, correct? Or was he going to pick another running mate?
9? Oh, stage ain't no stage.
No. No, you know who said that? Donald Trump and his dumb ass.
Retard. Nobody believes him. He's just
when he said stage 9.
I don't know what diaper planet he on. Talking about some stage 9. You better be careful. You got some stages, bitch. The way you stumble and falling and sleeping and shit. What kind of stages he got? But ain't nobody talking about that. Everybody act like he's the picture of health. But anyway, we'll get on Darnell's ass a little later. But yeah, so I'm just like, and then now they're like attacking Jill Biden. And granted, trust, I don't work with a lot of corporate white women. They are some lethal bitches. Okay, they real nice, and you think, oh, they're so sweet. Don't do something to make them have to think they want to check you, and you see a whole different side of them. Okay, so I could see Jill Biden being the don't tell him, we're just going to keep this train going. I enjoy the luxury of being first lady and the things I can do. Yeah, don't worry, I got him. I could see that too. I could see all of that. You know what I'm saying? And him just going along, stippling, trumbling, tripling, doing all types of shit, and just thinking it's my old age. And the whole time, the whole team knowing, I hope this man don't die while he in office. Cause if this black lady get in here, we ain't gonna know what to do. Not us, but of course, you know them. You know how they are. They all for the inclusion until it don't serve them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you cool to be on the ticket, but you're not cool to be the one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't want to. We're gonna keep this trainer going as long as we can, and that's why I think when everybody started talking about how mad and upset they were when the rest of the party was like, no, Joe, look, he didn't look good in the debate, he got to go, we need somebody else. I could see now, while she, being Jill Biden, being fuming at the rest of the party, like, you know what I'm saying, because this was the plan. We know what's going on with him, but we're going to keep this train going so we could, you know, whatever. And if it comes down to it, then we'll do that. But you can't have him leave now. But it's like he's not well. He is not well. And it's like now at this point, all saying if he would have won, what you was gonna tell the nation then? If he would have ran and won the second term, say if they just kept the ticket the same, he won again. When were you gonna tell the nation? When he just boop dead? When he popped up dead on Jackie Washington Day? That's when we was going. Is that what we was gonna tell the nation? And then let's let Kamala just step on in? Is that what we were gonna do? So I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about this. Now, do I think she should be charged with elderly abuse and all that kind of stuff? I think I think, how do you charge one elderly person with another elderly person's abuse? You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, yeah, they have some age between them, but they're not that far in age. I think they're like 20 years or something like that. Not much. She's just as much a senior as he is, just not as senior. Right. And he like 90 some years old. Like, I mean, granted, yeah, cancer is not a great thing or whatever, but to someone who has lived a full life and finally became president and was able to, you know, his lifelong dream, live it out and be that person, congrats. I really don't, you know, it's like all that other stuff. Yeah, I feel a little like some shady business is going on, but do I feel like she knew? Of course. If they couldn't tell him because they was afraid he was going to blurt it out, you know, in a press conference or something like that, the next person that would have known that he had it for real, and how long prognosis and all that was definitely that white woman standing next to him. And now you sitting there, well, she's been so shady lately. You wonder why, bitch? Because y'all exposing her ass. So now she don't get, now it's all out. She waiting for it to drop. She waiting for the cancer diagnosis to drop. She waiting for all the people to say, oh yeah, we knew and we suspected. She don't want to talk to you motherfuckers. That's how they get it. At this point now, it's protecting my own. Before I was playing the game, now it's fuck this game. Fuck y'all. So, I don't know. Any thoughts? Not another Gene Hackman. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at. Gene, his wife and the dog.
Right, and the dog.
I don't want to be the dog. I don't want to be the dog, the innocent bystanders, okay?
Right. Everybody got to go. We all die.
And the dog is probably saying, motherfucker, I wish I had thumbs. I get the hell up out of here. I can turn the doorknob.
Yeah. And the daughter's sitting up there having Starbucks and shit. They sit up there talking about why they so happy. Their father dead. Bitch, he's a millionaire.
Yeah, they knew way in advance. Now I think that because I think that the doctors may have told him, it's at your age, and we're looking at uh, your health and everything. You'll be okay. We can just let it ride
Yeah, yeah.
because they do that. They do that a lot. They'll
A lot,
they'll
yes.
uh-huh.
They'll assess your ability, like, for surgeries and treatments, and
And
really,
at
like,
his age, and
you're
like I
not
said,
gonna make
probably
it.
see
Yeah,
him. You
it's
say
gonna
we
be
all
so
fall down.
frustrating.
Yeah, we all would fall down. And then we couldn't talk about him because we would fall too.
Boop down, and there would
Yeah,
be
so I think
no
they
getting back up.
definitely knew. But then too, they were still probably at the time that he was probably diagnosed, I would say maybe 2 years, 3 years beforehand.
Right, right.
Um,
Might be even 5
and
or 6.
yeah, because it's just one of those types of things. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, you can live with it,
Right, because
you know.
sometimes it's not aggressive. Sometimes it will sit dormant for years, and it's still fine. It's still in the same state. You're good.
hmm
So they don't really, they don't poke and pry until it starts to get a little more aggressive. Then they start
Right.
to, like, really attack
And
it. And
who's to
maybe at
say
this
the
point,
treatment
right,
wouldn't do him in it? And you
right,
have to you have to weigh the odds. Is the
right,
treatment too
exactly.
aggressive? He's already doing this. Or who's to say that he wasn't already taking the treatment
Right.
when we
When he
saw
was
that big
stumbling and
decline? Uh-huh.
yeah, right, exactly. That too.
So, and at the time they were probably saying, yeah, you're only going to do 4 years anyway, so we're going to
Yeah,
leave.
right. We're gonna let you. It's a Make-A-Wish Foundation, bitch. They're trying to give you
If
your
you
done.
goodbye, I'm gone. Who we going to call? Who we going to call? Who you want to see? I want to see Dolly Parton.
I want to be the president. Okay. You
Uh-huh.
know what?
Yeah, you can. You stand right
Right.
here and read the teleprompter. Don't read everything that's on the
Read
teleprompter. Don't read
every
nothing else.
word. Don't fuck it
Right.
up. Read every word. Don't fuck it up. But, like, I want to be president. And you get your wish. And no shade to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. You do great things
Yeah.
for great people. But
hmm
it's just what it is.
This country. Yeah, another black president. Correct.
Yeah, yeah. And
They
especially a
because you've
woman.
heard them say they'll say it in things like, "Oh, we gave you your
Yeah, we
black
gave you your
president."
time, right? We gave you your time. Like, you got your one. You know what I'm saying? You got your person
hmm
you could hang the hat up on, because we couldn't find nothing to drag him through hell with. So,
Right.
you got your
Oh
one
yeah, and
clean.
sis,
Yes,
that's right. Because he
right.
showed his ass. Because
Yes,
he was squeaky clean. They couldn't find
right. They
shit. They
couldn't
couldn't find
find
no
shit.
baby's mamas.
Nope,
They could. They
nope,
couldn't find
nope. They tried to
nothing
pull
on
up
him.
old college photos of him smoking. Okay, and then
Big
what
deal. Smoking a
happened?
cigarette.
The young college kids came out and voted for him in droves and was smoking and all kinds of shit. So it's like everything they tried to do backfired, to the point where you was mad that he wore a tan suit to an Easter
That.
service.
Thank you. You're lucky it wasn't lime green.
But I mean, it's like,
Okay. Because we
come
are talking
on.
about
First of
Easter.
all, it's Sunday. The government ain't even open. So how you mad that he's not wearing a typical blue suit? He's not he's officially not working. Yes, it's a holiday for the nation, but he's officially not working because the government is closed. So what we mad about? He going to church. We don't all wear, blue and black suits to church. I just don't understand. Like, I don't get it. But enough of that. Yeah. Prayers to the Biden family, and during this time of preparedness or
But I still would have
whatever.
rather had him in office. Like I
I
told
mean,
you
of
before,
course.
it wouldn't bother me a bit if he died in office. Okay,
No, it wouldn't bother me
compared to
at
what we
all.
have now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it ain't
You fucked
it ain't even
around
been
and
six
find out,
months.
right? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it ain't even been 6 months yet. Ain't even been 6 months yet, and y'all got a whole couple years to go of
That's
more
right. We break out
bullshit.
the pastels.
Right.
We sure do.
Right, exactly. But yeah, we still got more time to go. So if you're getting tired of the tariff go back and forth, oh, that's a whole nother. Darnell is really showing his ass and don't care who knows it. Don't care. Yeah, so again, shout out to prayers to the Biden family as they deal with this yet another cancer thing throughout their family. As you know, his son died of brain cancer. So
Right.
yeah. And so on a more lighter but still heavy note, Governor Westmore. So Governor Westmore has vowed and talked about vetoing any research and or committees for Maryland to look into reparations for slavery. On the face, I thought, nigga, what? Nigga, who? Say what? Like in my Quani voice, say what, Sissy Punk? Like, huh? What you talking? Like, what are you talking about? But as I read what he actually said, I agree. But basically, what he was saying was enough with the research, enough with the studies. We need to start doing something to close these gaps. The studies are not working. We've done studies for 30, 40 years, 3 and 4 decades. Enough with the studies. We have studied this shit enough. We should all have PhDs and doctorates and shit and bio doctorates and all kinds of other crazy shits and summa cum laudes of, and that's without the foam, of this goddamn of slavery and the effects of slavery on the community. We see it every day. We're a part of it. We live it. So yes, what do we need to do stuff? We need to put boots on the ground. We need funding. We need to figure out how we're going to work this where we close these gaps that they have had for years. So I totally agree with it. I do. And I mean, I feel bad for the Black Caucus members who feel away as Trump takes away a lot of our history and tries to erase our history. Newsflash, you don't think he was doing it the first time he was in office? What you thought he was doing? Baking cookies? Like, Black Lives Matter erupted from his treatment. And not to mention George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery, and the list goes on and on and on of the killings. But yes, his lack of showing any kind of give a fuck to all of these situations, it's what led to the Black Lives Matter Plaza and all these other things, and these companies bringing back centuries old diversity and inclusion and all that kind of stuff. It didn't just pop up. This just didn't appear. I mean, I know, white folks, especially hurt white men, like to make it seem like this just popped up out of thin air, out of somebody's ass when George Floyd got murdered. But no, dumbasses, because of course none of you are, studied at all. No, it's been there. It's just y'all didn't have to worry about it because it didn't affect you all. You all ran everything. And until somebody said, you know what, let's start. It don't look so fair. Let's let Mary get a chance to be a partner. Come on, let's let Susie Joe be a partner. And you notice I'm saying Mary, Susie Joe, Beth Ann.
No Keisha.
You ain't hear, huh? You ain't hear me say Shaquita. You ain't hear me say India. You ain't hear me say nothing that you would think, oh, go ahead, sister, make partner. No, because they weren't talking about you. They weren't even thinking about you. Us, rather. Everybody else got one. Consuela came right on in, and she got a piece of it too. Because again, she ain't one of us. So everybody was able to gain a part of this equity and inclusion and all this stuff, but us. Because something about us and some power, I tell you.
They so afraid.
Afraid. What you afraid of? But But
You
when
should
but,
be.
but when your enemy knows your power, of course they're gonna be afraid. Again,
Mhm.
Bible reference: when your enemy knows your power, they're always gonna be afraid of you. So, it just is what it is. But I definitely check that out. That was on NBC News. I definitely agree with Governor Westmore. We need to stop doing all this studying shit. Just like we need to stop marching and the kumbaya and the holding the hands. Fuck all that shit. Enough. Martin, Malcolm, all these motherfuckers done died. Medgar, all these motherfuckers done died at the hands of these white folks doing absolutely nothing but asking for rights, marching, and trying to be as civil as possible until they fucked with their families. And then, oh yeah, all hands and all bets is off, which anybody would do. But we like this is just it's getting to be too much. I don't want to do the hamster wheel. We shall overcome how many times? You don't overcame it, then you wind up back in it in some form because you get comfortable in your overcomeness. Oh, we done overcame slavery. Oh, but you allowed them to turn the prison population into a new form of slavery.
That's right.
But because it wasn't affecting you, you okay with it until you find
okay
somebody,
mhm.
your relative or your relation incarcerated and they can't get out.
That and the fact, stop underestimating your enemy.
Yeah.
That's the whole problem. You keep
Thing,
underestimating it.
right. That's the
Mhm.
biggest thing. And always thinking that they gonna, they gonna come around. They gonna come around. Motherfucker, they don't
Mm-mm.
care. They don't care
They're,
nothing
they're
about
their
you.
cousin. They're their cousin you don't
That's
want to
it.
invite. Okay? Plain and simple.
That's
You know
it.
what they are. They with the shits.
And it ain't no
Always.
giggles, okay? It ain't no giggles involved. I was trying to get there we go. Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, because this one I forgot. I was looking for it. Monday, the Supreme Court, Darnell's administration, of course, right? So there's this program or this like Biden / end of Trump era, and I think it was even included in the DACA situation with Obama. But it's this immigration little thing that the people from Venezuela, when they first came in the boatloads, early on, that they were covered, like 2021. 20 something like that, a group of them that came over, evading persecution, political persecution, all types of stuff that was going on in Venezuela, right? So right about now the Supreme Court says put a hold on, you can't send these people back, don't do that, time out, flag on the play. However, they done came back around, Supreme Court, and said, you know what, Darnell, on second thought, I guess what Thomas must have got some money for a new boat or something. Scalia must have got something. All the what you call it, got some beers, I guess, to put in his, he got a year's supply of Miller Lights or some shit. But so yeah, now they come back and say, you know what? You could go ahead with your deportation of the early part of these Venezuelan migrants that came over here seeking asylum. You could take them, you could send them back, them 300, about 1,000. Now there's a problem here because there's a lot more of them. There's almost some million of them that's been here since the late part of Trump's administration, early part of Biden's administration. They have been here. Been here chilling. They said, oh, you could stay here as long as you have a work visa. So of course, a lot of them, you see them being your maid, cleaning the hotel rooms and all kinds of stuff. You're like, oh, they really work, getting your oranges and all types of shit. Oh no, Supreme Court said no, we can scale that back. So now everybody's worried. Again, what you worried for? This is what he said he was gonna do. Y'all same people. We love Donald Trump. We love Donald Trump. All that bullshit. That He was coming for y'all, whether you're working, got in school, got kids. You don't, if you're not from here, you don't, he's sending your ass back, point blank, period. Kids and all. They just send a busload of kids, of U.S. citizen kids, back to Venezuela. So I'm just saying, like, there is no respect of person. I don't know, but people thought that they was like the special ones, and he's only talking about the criminals as if there's all these immigration criminals running rampant through these United States, which is bullshit. I'm just saying. But go ahead, your thoughts. I do have
No, they
any
probably
thoughts?
afraid. They were probably afraid you're gonna send them on a flight.
Yeah.
Put us on the boat.
Right.
These bitches falling out the sky.
Right. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't understand it. I really don't. What made you think that he wasn't talking about you? I know what it was. You've always thought, like the rest of you, we're not black. Like, you know, whatever he does, he'll do it to the criminals and the blacks. He won't touch us. Cool, we good. They all think that. He'll do it to the criminals and the blacks. We're good. Well, he ain't just doing it to the criminals and the blacks.
No, you had to ask yourself, are you a criminal or are you black?
Right. And then you gotta start asking yourself, how brown are you?
Mm-hmm. We have a chart.
How brown are you now? So yeah, this is really cranking up, and I feel bad.
He said they would stay out of trouble.
I
weren't
feel
really
bad.
doing anything.
But they weren't
really doing anything. They come in, they
but
work.
they were. They weren't, but they were. You know why? Because they were the part to making America brown. That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, they brought their reproductive system.
Yes, they brought their reproductive systems. Their young wives that popping out babies. The minute you see one gone, she pregnant again. You like, God damn, where the fuck did the first one even come off your tit yet? Like, she's holding one, got one in her stomach. She popped one out, and it's almost like a chain. They move. That one start walking, this one back on the titty, and that one in the stomach. It's like, do you ever get a chance to breathe? Like, do you ever? Does it breathe? Can it breathe? Or like, what's going on here? So yeah,
doing a lot of something.
Yeah, right. He get drunk enough. He doing a lot of something with anybody. I mean, I don't. I'm trying to figure out. He's coming back from the construction site, banging you out, and you just staying home, and he just taking a little bit of money, giving it to you, and buying beers with the rest of it.
I've been on that jackhammer all day long, just thinking of you.
Just thinking about you. I just find it to be ridiculous, but yeah. So definitely check that article out. That was the Washington Post, actually. So he's canceling granted status to a lot of Venezuelan people. So we voted for Donald Trump. Yeah, y'all about to go back.
Take the boat. That's what I say. Take the boat. Yes, take the boat.
It is very sad to see. But when you fuck around and find out, So more fuck around and find out news, which I'm not surprised about. Unemployment. Where we go. All right. So unemployment for who else but Black women. So during this whole Doge, we cleaning out all of the bad and the fiscal and we need to clean this up and tighten up the budget and do all this and do away with all this fraud and spending. The funny thing is, all these cuts for these jobs, especially these high-ranking jobs, these jobs where you really do need education and stuff and all the type of things and certifications and things and clearances and things that we held, and not just because we were like this, but just because we held because we got it, right? Those are the big job losses just this past April. Huge. let's look at the numbers. Okay, so black women, and again, always the saviors, always the saviors. Again, like we said, like I just said, they know your enemy knows your power. They know black women go out in droves and vote for the rest of these dumb motherfuckers, the rest of the dumb group in droves. They don't even pay no attention to. I mean, yeah, you got one or two, and you're like, okay, but show me proof where he is actually doing XYZ. Show me that. They can't show you nothing. They can talk to you all day about what the Democratic Party don't do, and we know all that. They both, they both faulty on both sides. We get that. That's a non-starter. However, look at the evidence of what one party has done more than the other. Okay, you got one that's always talking about being fiscally smart and then conservative and saving money, and you see more money every day. It ain't even been a year yet. How much money has he spent? He's been golfing more than he's been president, as he did the first time, but this time the whole bankroll is on you. Yeah, so unemployment. Although April's numbers, unemployment was remaining at 4.2%. Black women accounted for a total job loss of 106,000 jobs. Lost. That's 106,000 jobs. And you might say, 106,000 jobs, not really bad. Well, it was at 10.3 million jobs. I'm just talking about black women. I ain't even talking about everybody else. March started to drop. 10.2. April dropped some more. Unemployment right now is at 5.1% to 6.1. Steady climbing, but it's climbing because, of course, we don't have the merit. I'm still trying to figure out what their definition of merit is, because I want them to say it. I want you to say it. Your merit base is that you be white, not you be qualified. It's just that you be white, and definitely just a white male. Just my ego is shallow, and I need support. So I don't understand, but yeah, black women, it's looking real tough out here.
And here's remember too, those numbers. Those are the numbers of people who have filed for unemployment. Remember, you still have a lot of people who are in limbo. So those numbers aren't really true. Right. It's higher, right? Definitely higher, right? And you had to look at the fact that black women are the most educated, right? So where do you go? Out of
all the demographics, even out of white women, well, their unemployment is at a steady 3.3%.
Right.
Hispanics 4.6.
Make it make sense. Try to figure it out. It is what it is.
But it's like the stupidity of you to think that a program, right, that said, oh, we need to fill a quota. Okay. And granted, some people may have been on that fill a quota. Look at Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. You're going to tell me he was picked on merit? I'll wait. Please show me proof where he was picked on merit. The other black man, the first black man and only black man to hold that seat, died. What did they do? Fill it with another black man. Who at the time had a scandal the size of Bill Clinton and the blue dress.
Yeah, he had pubes on was a Cocoa Pepsi.
Pubes. Long Dawn Silver. So I'm just saying, like it's crazy. It is really crazy. And he was still married to Fat Jenny, but she wasn't fat then, but she still looked old and crumpy and flumpy, but she looked worse now. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, where was the merit? This man was,
and remember too, his shit was televised
for weeks. For weeks, y'all sitting over here bent out of shape over Diddy and Baby Oil and Bill Cosby dropping Spanish Fly, and this motherfucker was doing it the whole entire time to any female staff that came around. It just so happened that black woman had enough and spoke out.
Right.
And they dogged her for it.
And I heard said they dogged her for it.
Right. They dogged her for it. Even your president, well, your former president.
Mm-hmm.
Dogged her out for it. I mean, he came back and apologized, of course, because he needed
but
to
it's
vote.
too late.
But it was too late. You ruined that woman's career, her whole entire life over something that he did, point out, period, and that she just spoke up about it. That he done it to everybody he came in contact with because he felt like he could do it. Again, that whole because I'm in the in group. They let me do shit. I'm going to do it like they do it. But your time is coming too when they're going to show you. No.
Oh, they already showing him. Well, Darnell been snapping at him lately.
Yeah, because you know what he want to do? Replace him.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to replace him.
He sure did. So he better act like he know.
Well, he gonna find out. But yeah, black women, yeah. He coming for y'all. He coming for you. They coming for you. But definitely not surprised. Let's see what else we got here. Andrea Smith. I vaguely remember that. You sent that to me, but I vaguely remember that story about the woman who was pregnant but brain dead. And
the nurse, down in, I can't remember where she's from. All these damn stories just kind of run together. But she's brain dead. They're pretty much just using her as an incubator. The thing about that is the family had no say.
Right.
In the whole thing.
Under Georgia's abortion law.
Right. And that's the whole thing on that. I thought the family I thought the family, this was something that the family had won, but as I read the story, it wasn't. It was just under the abortion. So pretty much I don't know. It's so it's such a it all depends on. I mean, something like that. If it was me and I knew that I had a baby on the way and whatever, I would want them to do everything they could. But then too, who's footing the bills?
Right.
The families.
Right.
The family's still footing the bills.
The bills. Right. For a law that technically the actual carrier is dead. Completely gone out of here. There is no brain function nowhere. They are literally have this woman on a machine.
Right, and she is being kept alive just to incubate this baby to get the baby full term.
The baby is full term. Now, what if the baby comes out with some kind of birth defect? Then what? Because you're not going to pay for it because you don't believe in that. You don't believe in paying for it.
No, once it's here,
right?
It's up
once
to you.
It's here, you don't care nothing about supporting it, caring for it, making sure it has a great life, feeding it. You don't care anything about that. All you care about is the prospect of making a child, of possibly having a child. But then this is just to cover up their whole plan. Their plan is to make things white again, increase their population because their population
and do it by any means.
Yes.
And do it by any means. Who's to say they don't have a little plant somewhere with women just being used as incubators? I wouldn't put it past them, especially Not our government.
So not at all. Not at
You
all.
know, plain and simple.
Yeah.
It's but I'm just surprised at the fact that they just overridden the family.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the family has no say. It's all about the abortion law. First of all, it's not. It's at this point. This is not technically an abortion in a sense. The person, the carrier, the supportive person to ensure that this baby thrives by her eating right and all this kind of stuff is gone. So now all you're feeding this baby are chemicals, straight up and down. Fake food, fake nutriments, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, are we talking about natural and what God wanted and all this other kind of stuff when they like to throw they irritate me so much when they like to throw that in there and be doing the most crazy shit. There's no way you could say that is normal. That's not normal. That is not normal. Now if she passed on and that baby was to term enough to be removed and you know that's a different story. But
Yeah.
no, you're keeping this woman alive, pumping this baby full of drugs and things to ensure what? Like almost creating, like experimenting to see if you could do
Thank
this.
you. Thank you.
Because then
And that's all I think it is. That's all I think it is.
this is what it will be.
Mm-hmm.
We won't need you to be alive to carry a baby. We will just leave you alive enough for the time that we need you to have these babies and then dispose of you when that's finally done.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. And all this for what? All of this for what? To continue a lie so you continue your people to be dumbfounded enough to think, yeah, we created this world, we created this nation, we did this, and you know, but you didn't. How the fuck you do that with all these other people here? What you think? They all appeared out of nowhere just because you know, like you thought them up? But again, that's where that white Jesus complex and shit come from. Y'all think he created y'all and then he gave everybody else, oh, let me just create these other people on the side. Like no, stupids. But anyway,
And we got rhythm, right?
Yeah.
They didn't say how long how far gone she was, did they?
Let me see if I can run it real quick to see. 30 years old. She's been declared brain dead for more than 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but they didn't say how far along in her pregnancy she was.
Yeah, she's not in a coma. She's not recovering. She's literally gone. She's dead. She's dead. They are just utilizing the organs and stuff, keeping them pumping, you know, food and stuff to the baby directly, you know, through her, but to the baby. But she's gone. She's gone. There's no brain function at all.
Now, to say if her husband wanted them to do this, okay, suppose it was flipped.
Right.
And then it's like, oh no, we can't do that. That the bills would be astronomical.
Right.
You know, that type of thing. It is that's just one of those stories. Just
but it's really sick. It really is sick though.
I mean, because I'm sure that she would have wanted her baby if they were able to do this. But I don't like the steps that they've taken to just take control of everything.
Oh, everything. Right.
You know, that's the whole thing. Why doesn't the family have a say?
Right.
And in actuality, they should have full control. If she's married, her spouse should have full
control.
Full control.
For sure. And especially, I mean, that's the way they put it anyway. So if you want the man to have full control anyway in a lot of these matters, then why does he not have full control? And if he does and isn't allowing this, what's the reason? Money, publicity, like what's the reason?
Yeah.
Because
that's the one thing that I wish that the people who reported on the story went into more depth
That
there.
way. Yeah.
Because of course, like now, I have to try to explain it for me to understand it. You know,
Mhm.
you immerse yourself. What would I do?
Do right. Yeah.
This is, but everybody doesn't have the same thought pattern,
Right.
and I want to understand what actually is going on with that family dynamic. Her mama didn't come up, her daddy didn't
Right.
come up.
Right.
Nobody's,
Yeah.
or is there a husband? If
Mhm.
this is the boyfriend, regardless, the child's father
Right. Should
has
have
a say
that. Yeah.
have that say in there.
The
And
state should not be regulating this. And then I wonder, like, what they don't. I mean, they have a whole bunch of women in these things, and they don't really say what race. Not that I think I caught. Because I'm like, you're doing all this. Is it one of these? Is it one of us? Because I'll be very shocked if you're doing all this and she happens to be a black woman. I'll just be very clear. Like I'll be shocked.
oh, she's a black woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm very
she's a black
shocked.
woman. But
I'm
who's to
very,
say that they don't have any more, say, what do you call them, birthing farms?
yeah, but that's again that brings us back to our first point that you're trying to see if this works, so
Yeah.
that way you
The
could do this.
opportunity is there.
We don't need again. We don't need then at that point, white people to actually do it. We could utilize the bodies of
Right. But
black
as long as
women. Of women.
well, they've been doing that anyway.
They have
Because when they've use surrogacy and everything,
Yep.
the you're just a vessel to carry
That's
it.
it. That's
You
it.
just pop whatever in and see what you get.
That's it. But now
Trust
that
it.
now that we've discovered you don't have to be walking around to carry it.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to
Right.
keep you alive enough that your organs and stuff don't fail. You know what I'm saying? We can keep
Right.
those going. We don't even need you to be here. You know what I'm saying? So that's the disgusting part. So back to Darnell. So these 5 House Republicans stall on Trump's beautiful tax bill. This is a open and shut story right here, because you want to know why they stalling on his beautiful tax bill? It's because them 5 Republicans know that their constituents know that their shit is gonna get cut the fuck off, and they lily white folks. They ain't no, ain't no. They one of them. They in that deep red. Oh yeah, it's Republican all day. Trump. Oh, what, you cutting my stamps? You cutting my Medicaid? You cutting my that. So yeah, they're showing up to their town halls. They're showing up to their offices, and they're pissed. They're pissed as hell. So yeah, they're gonna stall on voting for this tax bill because they know that their ass is on the line. Trump's already won. He don't have to primary in 2 years. They do. Go ahead.
Yeah, but not only that, some of them don't believe that it goes far enough. That they want more.
They want more. Yeah.
They want more.
And cutting millions of dollars.
If we need to cut things, we need to cut them.
Yeah. Millions of dollars.
We need to cut them.
Just the other day, he talked about, of course, defunding HUD, because, of course, they think of HUD as just something black people use. But again, there's less of us than it is of them. So those numbers are wrong and very deflated on one side, because it tries to show a point that we are the ones on the public assistance. Them same people in them red belt states, let me tell you, they're on it. They are on it, and on it hard.
Big time. Mm-hmm.
And if he cuts this, you will see a different flow of, oh my God, because these toothless trailer park, you thought the Capitol was some shit. You wait and see when he cuts these things, thinking like he has everybody else thinking, oh, we're just gonna attack the brown and black people that's on it.
Mm-hmm.
We're just
pop too.
Right. You're going after your own people. You're going after your own people that can't afford to live like you live. because that's going to be the reality of it. But yeah, so they're putting their stop on it. Yeah, some of them feel like it doesn't go far enough. Social Security about to be cut. Military benefits about to be cut.
Hmm. So they can give a tax break. So they can give money to already rich people.
Right.
Man, I tell you.
And think that them rich people are going to find the kindness in their heart to then trickle it down to the rest of America. On what planet?
That's why
On what
Ronald Reagan.
planet?
That's why Ronald Reagan is in hell now.
Hello?
With that fucked up trickle down effect. That shit ain't never happened.
It never worked. It never was supposed to work. That's why I don't even
No.
understand the
They made it sound good, see? Because
Right.
what that did was shift the blame. It's like,
Right.
well, oh, well,
Exactly.
if these rich people or your company didn't do it, didn't send it down to you,
Right.
it wasn't me.
Right.
I put the ball in their
I
court.
put the ball in their court. Right. Exactly.
They could do whatever it is they want to do with it.
Right. Right. But I gave them the funding. You know what I'm saying? It's like it kind of I wipe my hands clean of it. But yeah, people are out here suffering. And if you haven't realized, eggs has not gone down. Groceries has not gone down. He just told Walmart,
right,
suck it up, cupcake,
suck it up.
Suck it up and pay for the tariffs. And you better not raise another price. You better not raise your prices.
I hate to tell all the lesbians Subaru is doing the same thing.
Who? Subaru?
Yeah. It's all the lesbians. Subaru will be raising their prices on their vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like people try to, and that's the sad thing. Wasn't nobody out here trying to manipulate anything. You're really just saying, hey, Negroes, bitch, white folks, crackers, conkers, listen, we pay the tariff. We pay it. The companies never pay it. They get the goods. If they got to pay extra tax on it, they just charge it to you. So that's where the prices go up at. So yeah, you've been seeing dirt low prices because the taxes for imports have gone down. But now, since he wants to play like, oh, well, they've been chipping us off, so we're gonna charge them. Okay, and as you can see, the companies have said, no problem, Bob. We're just gonna raise our prices to cover it because we don't ever pay it anyway. But you think you're gonna throw threats out there to companies that support you to put money in your pocket to do what? What is it proving? Not 25 seconds.
Look, I saw the plug. It instantly caught my attention on what?
I know, right? But yeah, that is just crazy. And the fact that you think you're going to shake corporations down, these same corporations that's been greasing your greasy ass palms this whole time, take them down for what? Walmart has been making buku money, not just off of customers, but their own employees. Right. They've been milking the government, getting subsidies, aka welfare, for their own employees.
Look, I was done with fucking Walmart. I was done with Walmart when they started making people use self-checkout.
Well, now they taking it back. They taking it back because they want to make more money.
Remember they had some other new program. You had to pay them $100 or whatever it is, some kind of express line. It's like, pay you for what?
That's exactly what it is.
Better yet, why don't I just stay my ass out of your store?
Yeah, right. So now they want you to pay. If you don't want to wait in line at Walmart to where there's 12 aisles of cashiers, but only 4 of them actually have employees working. So if you want to go to the self-checkout line now, you have to be a member, like a yearly member, like it's either $100 or $150 just to use the self-checkout. Good luck with that. Good fucking luck.
You know what? I would not want to be a door checker at Walmart.
Let me tell
you, nowadays shit
Amazon,
would be so dangerous.
Let me tell you, Amazon grocery stores looking real nice now. I've been there twice. I mean, talk about self-checkout. You ain't gotta check shit. Just bloop, 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 and walk the fuck out the door. Thank you for shopping. Oh, thank you for having me. Just ain't gotta worry about bring my own bags and all types of shit. Like, ain't even gotta worry about it. Walmart, you about to do yourself a whole disservice. Right. Let alone your products have been real sucky lately anyway. So I mean, I'm just
saying. They cut their line up.
Yeah.
They reduced down. We used to be able to find a wide variety of things. It's just very, very limited. Yeah, I get tired. I get pissed when somebody wants to stop and check my receipt. Look, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here.
Right.
You know.
You don't see all this shit in here. You don't see how long
I had no TV set.
No. Like,
no. Oh. And not only self-checkout. I don't know about where you live. But over in the hood, they've been locking all that shit behind plastic.
Behind plastic, yes, I saw that.
And I was like, look, all I wanted to get
oh my
fucking
god,
deodorant.
For the simplest shit. And then there's nobody
call somebody
around.
to open it.
Oh, I gotta call somebody. Where are these fucking workers at? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Nobody's working. I got 20 minutes just to get one fucking thing out of something that shouldn't be locked up. But I it's just like, the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Let's see. What else did you bring me? The DEA, they're getting rid of their body cam program. They have already gotten rid of it. Really, it's just
so don't
now
be surprised, y'all.
So right, don't be surprised if they start busting in houses and shit and just start doing all reckless shit. And the only way you be able to know that they've done some shit is somebody's over in the corner recording the shit, because body cams are about to be a thing of the past. He coming, and it ain't Jesus.
Yeah, but other agencies are going to follow behind them.
Don't worry, the FBI is falling behind. The regular police officers will probably be falling behind, definitely. So be sure to be looking at the pigs on the beat being more reckless than ever before. Okay, because that's going out the window. So good luck with that. Again, elections have consequences, and yeah. I don't think this one was worth it. Really, honestly, I think you could have grinned and bared it, and we could have waited at least another 4 years for something else and just dealt with what we had. Because this shit is not even about to be. You thought it was federal law. It's not. No, just certain departments in the law enforcement department and the Justice Department haven't been using body cams at all, really, to be honest with you, since Trump's first administration. Only certain ones were mandated to have body cameras, and now Trump is rolling that back. So you have the DEA, you have FBI probably coming pretty soon. And then, once that hits, marshals, your regular police officers,
especially those small towns,
and these small
they'll
towns
start with them.
And
half the time they don't use them anyway. I think
the small towns have ever had body cams. To be really honest with you, I really don't think they have. We're talking about larger cities, that kind of thing. When they do away with that, you're going to see a lot more bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, the transportation secretary, the real world guy, Sean Duffy. Yeah, he was in Real World, I think 2 or 1 or some shit way back. Well, 3, one of them early ones. Yeah. So he is under investigation because insider trading, as always. So Trump talked about doing the tariffs, and all of a sudden, his broker, his stockbroker, decides to sell his stock. And we're supposed to believe, because we're so dumb, we don't know nothing about people having stock and stockbrokers, that the stockbroker made the decision to sell his stuff that were going to be tariffed upon instantly without Sean Duffy's approval. Now you tell me, I've had a few and have a few stocks of my own. My stockbroker can't move shit. All he can do is call and advise and say, hey, this is happening. Hey, I'm thinking about doing this because this is coming down the pipe. Or you might want to look at doing this. But no. And I could just say, yeah, I trust you, whatever. But there's no there's no movement of no money without the confirmation of, hey, this is what I'm doing. We need to do this, or either him calling his stockbroker and saying, hey, make that move, and not really saying in detail what the move is, and the stockbroker just knowing what to do and doing it, so he doesn't get the quote unquote blame for, oh, you knew, so you called your stockbroker and told him sell. But that's really what he did. The same shit that they sent Martha Stewart, sewing and gardening ass. Now she's drinking with Snoop Dogg and shit and getting high. Same thing they sent her ass to jail for. He can do.
Martha's corrupt now.
He can do because of what? Oh, what's the difference? Is he not? Does he have merit? Is that what it is? Is that what the difference is here? It just makes no sense to me. Well, Stephen Miller, he looks like he's behind a lot of shit. He looks like that evil person that's really unattractive, that really like is in it like to get all the people that ever teased him in life, called him ugly. He is that person. He's like that. I'm going to get all these.
He is a ghoul. That's what he is. He's a damn
ghoul.
ghoul.
He is Gollum in the flesh. Like he is my precious. Like he will get you. Like he is just that. I can't with that man. Like I really cannot. These again are people who have lived their lives mediocre, was able to, fake it till they made it in circles where they were all just trying to make it and feel important because they're nobody. They've been overlooked. They've just, they're not even, I wouldn't even say average. They are just white people who don't have nothing going for themselves. They really don't. And they feel like they deserve it because the whole time that's what they've been taught. That's what they believe. That that everything belongs to them. They created all this. All this other stuff that we've been given has been given to us because we're supposed to feel, because they were supposed to feel bad about what their grandparents did to us. And they don't feel that way. Why? Because nobody's done anything to them. So why would they feel that way? Of course they would feel like I don't have anything to do with what my grandparents did, because you benefit from what your grandparents did, of course. But if you had to struggle from your grandparents' existence and still had to bear that, you would have a different tune. But because that's not your life, of course, you don't, of course it's not your life. But then again, too, you live so much in privilege that you've done nothing with your life. Not my problem.
Right.
Your father was a coal miner for years and years and years and years, got black lung and all that shit, and they still supporting his ass because he's still getting a check from the government. You didn't think of doing nothing else but working in the coal mine your goddamn self? So now the coal mine is out of here because who's using that? Nobody is using that. Like, granted, I get it. A lot of people, because I deal with a lot of old people all the time that don't. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Listen, sorry, bitch. You don't have a choice. The world is changing. It's not going to stop because you don't want it to. And I think that's where a lot of these white men are. They are so accustomed to when they grew up or when they were younger, babies, teenagers, or whatever, there was a certain kind of world where you stayed over here and they were over here, and you didn't intermingle with them. You didn't talk to them. They ran everything. They saw their grandparents and fathers and stuff, ahead of stuff. They didn't see all this mixing and people getting. It was just them. That's all they saw. That's what they want. They want it back. World is changing. It's not the same no more. You definitely not going to get it back to where you're going to get the Martins and the Malcolms and we're just going to march and we're just going to you're definitely not going to get that. You definitely not going to get that. You put your hands like you was doing, throwing bricks and punching people in the face, and they just continue to walk on and march on. You sadly mistaken. I promise. There's going to be a lot of crumbled crackers in the streets. Because it's not even that type of thing, but that's their mindset. They're into this whole 60s, 50s kind of, you're a man, you're not a man, you're a boy, talking to you any type of way, you people using the N-word, just like we talked about last week with that lady getting all that money, calling that little boy a nigger, and then continuously kept calling, kept saying it, and now you're afraid for your life. Why are you afraid for your life, bitch? You had that mouth. Like stand in it.
Stand in it.
Then you got, and I applaud the black woman. I can't think of her name, but she is on the hunt to get the actual banking company that is supporting this whole white woman's bullshit, because they don't know any of that. The bank part, they just fund the money. They don't really get involved with how it's being raised and all that kind of stuff. Those are the other groups, like those white supremacy groups that's raking in all that money. But she is getting to the bank to get the bank to cut the funding, period. Stop it altogether. Right. Because what happens is banks are very mindful of things that are going on that could cause people to take their money and leave. And by no means would a bank want somebody to take their money and leave. Because one account, and you're not going to feel that. But 15,000, a couple million, you're going to feel that. Because that's where your money comes from. The kind of people sitting their money in the bank, it growing interest, you taking some off the top, and you doing that whole kind of some for me, some for you, and more for me, and some for you. That's where you make your money. So if people starts pulling their money because of what? Because you out here supporting hate groups. Oh yeah, now we got a whole different conversation happening. So yeah, I definitely applaud her. Like, get on them. We don't need to be going back and forth with these saltines about the shit they do. Get their money. That's their language. We can't sit down and have civil conversations with these folks. They don't.
Those days are over. That's right, because they don't care.
Round table days of, let's just come together. And again, I blame this on that religion shit, turning the other cheek and all this other. How many cheeks do you have?
You blame it on that what?
Religion.
Sweet Jesus in the morning.
Name me.
You know what? I ain't hear no thunder. It must be real. But anyhow,
name me something that promotes and still promotes servitude, and you praising and forgiving and continuing to live in a subservient kind of situation in hopes that one bright day you'll go on to glory and then you'll get your riches. But right now you just got to deal with how it is, what it is.
You say we need new leadership? No, I think we're doing good. I think we're doing good.
But
because we should not rely. We shouldn't rely. We shouldn't rely on, because you see what they do. They want to slow down the progress. They kill the leaders.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But look at the history of what they've done to the leaders. even
Mhm.
from the smallest, the Black Panther, the
Yeah.
young man that died. I mean,
Mhm.
they will snipe out your if they feel like you have a voice, they will snipe you out because that is
Yeah.
the mode.
And
It's
it
to get
usually
rid of it.
disrupts everything. I mean, once it's done, everybody scatters.
Right,
That type of thing. But
right.
if you're in certain areas, certain regions and things like that, and you're dealing with that group,
Or you get a
you should
Judas. Mhm.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. You get a Judas.
Or you
You
get a
can't have
Judas
the
in
whole
your
thing
midst.
collapse. You can't have the
That,
whole thing collapse because of one person when everything is focused on the one or the two or the three.
that is.
Anybody should be able to pick up the mantle and keep going.
But when you realize that they haven't picked up the mantle in the way that the person that dropped it or was dropped by it did, you start to see you had you had visions, and they used you to get in, and then bam. Okay, now you can have your rainbow coalition that ain't really done shit. Yeah, I said it.
Hmm.
You just started hanging around that man a little bit before Memphis. You were not like in the trenches as they like to place him. He just started hanging around him really around the time of Memphis. And then all of a sudden that happens, and who gets catapulted to all of a sudden now you running for president of the United States? But
Hmm.
where? But when there's somebody in the midst who's looking not at the vision, you looking past like, I want to get here. I want to be better than you. Yeah, I want to be better than God. I want to be, I'm not calling Martin Luther King God, but just in that kind of sense. I want to be better than you. I want to surpass this whole movement and do something bigger. How could I do that? They find you.
Hmm.
Don't you want to, you don't want to be doing all this marching all day. Don't you want to do something else? We
Don't your
can
feet
make that,
hurt?
we can make that happen. Right. Don't your feet hurt? Don't Miss Jackson want a new coat? Don't you
Hmm.
want to be able to send your boys to a nice school? We could send them to an Ivy League school. Don't Isn't that what you want? Don't you want to move them into a nice neighborhood? We could make your name famous, just like the Kennedys.
And we'll
And
sell
you
your ass out so fast to sell out the movement.
right fast to dismantle it. So
Hmm.
enough to where it's just remnants of bones, like just
Yeah.
nothing. Just nothing. But it's like, well,
And,
what do you have to show for it?
yeah. And then too, when people get to a certain status, they start to move away from the people. They become disconnected.
Because
So
again, it's no longer serving.
yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's crazy out here. It is really crazy. So yeah, I side eye all of that. You look at the Al Sharptons of the world. You only coming out now whenever there's a tragedy, and all of a sudden you happen to be the one eulogizing the slain person. How? You don't even know this person. How? And then here comes your lawyer.
Hmm.
It's a factory at this point. You're worse than funeral homes, picking up bodies, standing outside the club like somebody about to get shot tonight. Y'all be on, be on post.
Hmm. Like they fishing.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Because
saying? Like seriously, like they are
you just
listening
sit
to.
there and wait.
Years ago, one of my cousins who will remain nameless because I can't stand them, used to have the little walkie-talkie thing, the police radio thing in his
Yeah.
car, and because he used to
Hmm.
do work with accident, and we whoop,
Right.
whoop, 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 running here, whoop, 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 running here. It's like that mentality. It's like you sit around waiting, listening, watching. Oh, sometimes, we need to get over there, get somebody on the ground. It's just waiting to capitalize off of pain instead of bringing a solution to the problem because you benefit from the pain. You benefit from all this radio time, and people want to ask you, what do you feel about it? And this, you had a lot of times you don't have nothing to do with it. You see how he wrangled that whole Target boycott? He had nothing to do with it.
Nothing at
Nothing
all.
at
But
all.
then, but you see how it flipped and changed. Then it became Sharpton, Reverend Sharpton, and is it Jamal Bryant?
Jamal
All
Bryant.
of a
Right.
sudden, yeah, all of a sudden it became the Reverend said this. Like,
Yeah,
no, this shit
yeah.
was going on before that.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, well, you know, where they get this stuff from? And they were playing along with it.
Yeah, very true.
We're going to do this on such and such. It's like, no, we've already. Matter of fact, we got a list with dates and everything else, and
Right.
it was months before you even came onto the scene.
Bullshit. Just absolute bullshit. I do have some sad news to announce though. Let's see. If you remember this young lady, I think is her. I think this is her. Nope, that ain't her. That's what you call it. Hold on. Scroll up. There we go. Her. Y'all remember her from My 600-Pound Life? The one that
I don't eat. I don't eat
right,
that meat.
yeah, I don't eat that meat. Dr. Nazarene said you could
For
miss
4
a
years.
meal. You could miss a meal for a few years. You don't need to eat. It's okay. That would actually help you. You could miss a meal, but you don't need to eat. You'll be all right. I think it's Latanya or something like that. She has passed away at the age of 40.
Wow.
Yeah. So 40 years old, she has gone on to glory, child. She's gone on to glory.
Because every time I see all the memes of that one, and I'm like,
yeah, I don't eat that meat. I don't eat that. What is that?
have you seen the ones with the babies now?
Yep.
Doing the skit. I'm like, y'all going to hell. Y'all really going to hell. But
yeah,
you know, but then too, when your family's not helping you, she had a boyfriend and everything, and everybody, and
but they're
they're
feeding into it though. Like listen, it's like how I look at, and no tea, no shade to even, the big woman over there with the boyfriend, quote unquote, with the 8 kids. It's like you serve a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody who truly loves you or truly is in love with you would want to see you healthy. It's not saying
they want you to be around.
Skinny. Right. It's not saying you got to be
unless you got some money now. That's a double story.
Right. Exactly. Unless it's beneficial to them to utilize you. Well, they got 8 kids. They ain't really got the money right now. You got some money. They're gonna borrow your money to, flash on their kids a little bit, show off in front of their homies a little bit. Then once that dies down and summer is approaching, because you're not the one to walk around with, all summertime and, looking at, because who is sitting around with you? Nobody. Who is watching you in a bikini? Nobody. Who is doing all this? Nobody. So, of course, it's time to go. Tax season is over. Now I'm going on to the actual baby mama, the girlfriends, or whomever, the ones they used to seeing you with until winter comes around again. And then all of a sudden, here we go back because what's coming up? Christmas. I got to get these gifts. And you stupid enough to sit there and continue this hamster wheel of, yeah, we broken up, or he coming right back in a minute. He did it. I suck a mean dick. Of course you do. It looked like a Jimmy Dean sausage link. I'm sure you sucked the shit out of it because you thinking about food. Like, I mean, what are we talking about?
Just don't bite.
Right. Right. I mean,
that'll throw the whole mood off.
Right. What are we talking about? There's nothing you can do. He is not picking you up. He is not, flipping you on your side, bitch, because he will break a pelvis. Bitch, you land on him, it's over. He is not pushing a lawnmower for his life.
He's just picking a phone.
Wheelchair. Are you fucking serious?
He is just picking a phone. It don't matter. You don't have to roll you on your side.
That's what I'm saying. He don't know what he
pick a crease. Any crease.
The crease in your armpit. You know what I'm saying? He's going to town. He is not fucking you. Like, stop it. Like seriously, stop it. It's sad. You know, like it's really sad. And even in watching this show and watching her, how defiant she was with someone who is a medical professional, you asked for help, and then you're gonna tell him what you're not gonna eat, what you're not gonna do, because that's not right. You don't feel like this is the right program for you and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, well, why are you here?
Right.
Why are you here? Because I'm telling you, you're gonna die in a year or two if you continue this way. And look, the woman just turned 40. 40. That's not old. I mean, people sitting there like, oh, well, that's nowhere near old.
No, but just man, your heart, just
Right.
all
It's
of
like
that.
taking care of
But
your,
not
it's like
only,
taking care of your body.
but not only that, it's all the other ailments. You
Right.
know, your high
Right.
blood pressure and everything else. You just exacerbate everything else. So.
Yeah, it's like it's cool, you know. It's like nobody's sitting here. You know, it's always the thing of, oh, well, I look good. They just done because I look good. You can be pretty, beautiful, and healthy, and not be overweight, obese, and have so many health issues. Because I'll be damned if you're gonna sit and say I don't have sugar and I don't have diabetes and all this other bullshit. You lying. You're lying. No way
You're
you're that
drinking
big.
liters. Liters.
No way you're that
Okay.
big and don't have shit going on with you. Absolutely not. Like, get the fuck out of here, Donald Trump, Mr. I'm 6 feet, 210. And then you like, nigga, we can see
210.
you. We can see you. That stomach is not even given 210. Okay. You definitely given roundabout the waist about a good, if not 300 plus, damn near very close to it. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
you know what? We need to talk to God too, because he is really missing the mark. I'm trying to be real nice. He is really missing the mark. The Lord is missing the mark, and I think we
Yeah.
need to have a sit down and discussion with the Lord,
Yeah.
because
He might be on vacation. You know what? He's sitting this one out with the rest of the black women.
vacation.
Yeah, I think God does a lot. You know, he needs a break too. You know, I'm just saying he might be
We
out
had
for
to schedule.
lunch.
We had to schedule an appointment because I mean
He might
You
be
know.
out for lunch.
he gave cancer to the wrong person. I'm just saying.
But I mean, and even in that, who's to say he don't have it, and they're not going to say it because they want to continue this power and show of strength. But yeah, every time you see this man, y'all sat there and talked about, oh, Sleepy Joe, he's sleeping. He at the damn funeral in a blue suit when everybody was told to wear black, and he sleep. He's literally out there in the open. He is sleeping. Why is this man sleeping? I thought he was agile, young and fit, and can run circles around Joe. Why is he asleep?
I don't think he ever ran, ever.
Huh. He can't. He's got bone spurs.
But the Lord is missing the mark. I thought you had hitmen. I thought didn't God have like hitmen and stuff like that?
He fired them, I think, after the Old Testament. I think he fired them.
Oh,
Yeah.
he had no need for. Okay.
Think he fired them. Think he let his son handle it, and I think that's where the that's where
Okay.
the
I have to say I'm highly disappointed.
I'm not messing with you.
Have us all condemned to hell
Yeah, right.
if it's real.
Right, that part.
Just think if hell was like a one big Diddy party.
Oh,
I'll
God.
be there.
Not one big Diddy party. I think that's it. I think I got everything. About the Diddy thing, we talked about that earlier. I'm not really going to touch on that. It's just a lot all over the place. I'm not surprised if he was fucking goats. A goat was fucking him. I really don't. I really don't care. Like I say all the time, all of this is learned behavior, right? And when you're in an industry like that, you idolize those same white men, right? Who's shucking and driving and making deals when you're up and coming, and you follow their behavior. So all that stuff that they were doing to these young women, black, white, and whatever, They just emulated that, and they continued on and on and on and on and on. He's not going to be the only one. You're going to get a whole bunch of them, because as we were younger and we remember the music videos that we be like, God damn, what the fuck's going on here? They found all this shit going on, and that was on video. So you can just imagine what was happening when the video was not running.
I'm surprised it hasn't showed up on Pornhub.
This is what I'm saying.
At least not yet. There's
right.
always time.
There's always time. There's always time. So I mean, it's just a matter of time. And yes, it's unfortunate. Yes, the man happens to be black, because of course you should know, like, hey, this is not an old boys club, and you get the invite. You got an invite for a reason, right? The minute you outstep that reason, the why you got invited in the first place, they're going to put you back. Always be aware of that. I don't understand how some of these wealthy black men and women get in this space and think, oh, I don't have to live like that no more. We made it. We George and Wheezy. We so removed. And it's like, no, you're never that far removed. When they have the power that they have, all you need to do is say
they
no.
They could just snap the leash.
Yeah. All you need to do is say no, or decide to go a different route other than what they destined you should go. Because this is the only route you should be able to go. You're a hip hop influencer. Yeah, you should only be doing this. Oh, but I want to do this. No. Okay, watch what happens. They've been doing that to Cassie for years. Like I've been saying, do I think that man just popped out of nowhere and all of a sudden they fell in love and baby, you should fight? No, I think he's been around. If you find out, if we dig deep enough, you'll find out he probably got caught up in some shit and they've been tapping him. So then they found out he had an in. They used him to get to her. Okay, bam. Now let's get this story going. Let's get whatever evidence you got. You know where the bones are buried. Tell us. If she tells us, we'll take the heat off of you, and we can get who we need to get. That's it.
Just remember too, he's also a predator. She was young.
But they've all been groomed that way. Look at R. Kelly. He was sitting outside other junior high school and other places, to the point where
he probably had Diddy sitting right next to him. Right. This is how I do it.
With his old teachers going, well, why are you here? Like, is a cousin here, a relative here? Why are you here? Well, because they know that I'm famous and I just want to show my face. Like, no, why are you here?
You giving me creepy, okay?
Right. I'm just saying, when you watching people when you watching little girls at a slumber party, bitch, and you a grown ass man, gay or straight, honey, you're giving creepy.
You creepy.
They said, okay, point blank, period.
Yeah, that's what I heard about Puffy's mom too.
Right. I
mean,
but she
if it runs in the family, that's
she always looked like that. She looked like, even when it was like, who the fuck is this one? Is that your mother dressing like that? Like,
because
when he was younger,
my baby
he was dressing like, like she used to run a brothel, or she was one of the chicks in the brothel or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, was never like,
she gives me Project, and I mean High Rise Project,
yes.
and my son has done well type of thing.
Yes.
So I'm gonna live to the end. I knew a lady that lived in the projects, but when you went into her house, you would never know it was the projects. This woman had fountains in her project house. Fountains with the water.
With the water.
This shit was elaborate. This was, you walk into a mansion type shit.
Right.
Wait a minute. It's like I step in the door and I had to step back out.
Right.
And
realize where I was. Yeah.
Where I was. And it's like, wait a minute. You have chain link fence. You don't have a balcony. You have the chain link fence that you just walk down and y'all like, outside. Where am I? But she was that type of person, just real with the platinum blonde. It was always a certain color. Platinum blonde would have these just real lavish style. But she lived in the projects, and that's what his mother always reminds me of. And now that her son actually has the means,
right,
And she can pretty much do what she want to do.
Yeah.
Probably Mama wasn't a Rolling Stone.
But
Good evening, everybody.
that pussy was never dry. She told him how to keep it well moisturized.
Mm, I know. She probably told him how to mix. Look, 2 parts this, 3 parts that. Don't mess with Mama's recipe. That's what that shit was. Don't mess with
That
Mama's
was not a
recipe.
patty pie. That was not a patty
Oh,
pie.
no.
Oh,
And then if you
God.
add this little bit, just be real careful.
Yeah, just be real.
But he's a predator. He preyed on her, and she was
Yeah.
young enough and didn't have the
But I
safety
mean, but just
measures
like a
of
lot of
people
them
around her
wanting the
and wanting
dream.
money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wanting that record, that attention, you know. But my whole thing, even with her, is how long were you willing to really realize it wasn't going to happen for you to just like. And I know she talked about trying to move on, and he would stalk and do other stuff to other boyfriends or potential boyfriends, but you ain't see this. You was around for Kim. You was around for all these other people in situations. Did you think you were gonna be different?
But then you probably had to look at the money aspect. How was the money controlled?
Mm.
You said, but is it trafficking? I don't know. Was he from what I'm hearing, from what what those 2 people and the third that they added, the escort, that's not trafficking.
Right.
That's just the kink. That's just the kink. Trafficking is
right.
I'm grabbing young girls, young boys, and I'm taking them to a party, and I'm making whatever. I'm leasing them out.
Yeah.
To
But I
some
think
friends.
that's what they're trying to set the stage too, that they had this bubble of these
who's in this group, in this circle.
Yeah, in this circle. And then the parties would spread out to have other people bust in, because I've always heard of people being bussed to these Diddy parties, and I think that's probably where they're gonna.
But you know what? Everybody want to party with a star. You never know who might be there.
Yeah.
That's pretty much. I'll go.
Yeah. Oh, that might be your big break.
And if I can get a little bit of something
Right.
from, and I don't have to say nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Then, mouth closed.
All right. Yeah. I kept my mouth closed and did like this. Look, did like this. Okay. I'm. Wait a minute. Don't get in my hair.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah. Very.
That's what it is. But yeah. Right now, it's just sounding like a couple. Though it was an abusive relationship, very abusive, very controlling.
Ike Tina.
That was
Ike and Tina.
Yeah, right. They had a kink. Now, my problem is with the escort, the third. How you paying me $4,000 to do these things? Okay. You paying me $4,000 a session
to
do these things, and then I'm going to tell you I'm gonna come and do it for free because I enjoy it so much. I ain't never been so dumb. I'm still going to get paid. I was going to ride that horse or that lady for as long as I can. I'm not going to cut off my penis despite my face because I enjoyed it, and she was the most beautiful woman in the world.
Right.
Now, like I said, a lot of it is their kinks.
Right.
He wanted to sit in the corner, and he wanted to be a voyeur, was a cockhold, and he wanted to sit and watch them do what it is that they do, and he wanted to play buttery nipples.
But not buttery nipples though. Not like take the juices and put them on my nipples. Like that was just like,
he liked that.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, you like?
And then with the water, with the water sports,
splish splash.
The escort was saying that she asked for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
like I said, so
You can
it's
be as
okay to have
woke
it.
up as you want, but I think at some point you become like, at some point you get into the groove of
But
yeah, you know.
you're dealing with young mentality.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's the whole thing. It and then when you think that it will never leave this room,
Right.
what I do here will never leave this room.
But see, but that's
Yeah,
why I think.
when I tap that closet and that sling pops out and unfolds and the lights and the disco balls and and got my private Diddy stock of oil.
Yes, of
Who
all.
should I be tonight? I like the Jasmine. I'll try that one. You
Yeah.
know,
Hmm.
that you never think about it. When you're young, you never think about 10, 15 years
Yeah,
down the
down the road.
road
Yeah. Well, I
that
think
somebody's going to tell this.
that's why the videos of the people at the parties and all that was very important to uh grab, because those were his insurances that
Yeah.
you
Well,
tell
you always
you
keep,
always have insurance. Yes.
right.
Yes.
You always have something.
Right. But
That's
you
why,
never have it
when you
all
go,
in one place, or you have some place where it's like, even if they were to take this, you still have something. Like, you know what I'm saying?
oh
Like,
yeah, you have to move. And on his level,
yeah,
yeah, we're not talking
yeah.
about like a
Right,
husband cheating with somebody else.
right.
That's why, like I said last week, you never cheat with
Hmm.
somebody that doesn't have as much to
Much to
lose
lose
as
as
you
you
do.
do. Yeah, for sure.
You and then when you're on that level
Hmm.
and you have multi-million dollar businesses,
Right.
you're a public figure. Every time you turn around, your kids are out and about and
Hmm.
doing these types of things. You had to have heavy hitting shit that
Yep.
will shut down people's mumblings and grumblings.
Yeah,
Oh, this
for
nigga getting
sure.
on my nerves. He think he can do this. This motherfucker undercut me. That type of
Mm.
thing. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell him about these parties that they having, and they out
Right.
here just fucking anything and everything. And then it's like, yeah, now he's fucking men too. What's
Yeah.
your boy sus? He sus? What's going on? What is he? Uh,
He's zesty. What they call him now? He's
yeah,
zesty.
he's zesty. He's zesty. He DL. He DL. It's like,
It's so
so
crazy.
you had to have enough ammo, and it had to be enough that would totally
Yeah.
destroy them.
Yeah.
You can't have minimal stuff.
Yeah. No. You need something else.
Justin Bieber sucked a dick.
Right. Whoop de doo.
All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
but Justin Bieber was a rotisserie chicken. I'll put it like that.
Right.
That's what you did.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's right.
For sure.
Patty. Yeah, but that's how you have to think about it. But right now, it's just coming across as somebody's kink
Yeah.
and in an abusive relationship.
Right. But is that criminal? Like, yes, the abuse is
The abuse is
a
criminal because we've seen the level when you can
Mhm.
kick a woman, and there's been worse than that.
Right.
And
Yeah.
evidently, somebody at that hotel knew that shit was bad. See, they did the
Yeah.
right thing. They
Yeah.
held that shit
Yeah.
because who the hell holds? It's like, yeah, puff kicking and whatever.
I
Yeah, let me
want to
get my
know
phone.
who that was, that when he found out that he paid, of course, and then who it was that had the information that slid it. CNN said, we pay you, how much you gonna pay for that? We could double it, we could triple it, and they slid it on to CNN for CNN to expose it. I want to know who
Right.
that person is. Of course, I'm not sure that person will never expose themselves, but that would be really interesting to know. Like, what was your payday like? 1.2?
Well, you see, he had the resources because goddamn, when she first popped up and he paid her ass off, he was just paying them off because you know how usually they play the game
Right.
and all the rest of it. You just pay them off right away. We ain't even gonna have a discussion. Then it kind of
Right.
faded away.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, that abuse was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then now you have your kids sitting there watching that,
But
and
I mean,
listening
for
to
the
all
boys,
the
I
other.
think that it's always been something that they've known.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
because they've participated in it too. Like I said,
Yeah, exactly.
one son,
The son,
um,
the one that looks like him.
yeah,
Yeah.
had a case against
Mhm.
a young lady that worked on a yacht
Yeah.
that he had sexually approached her,
Mm-hmm.
and they figure that I got money, I can have anybody I want,
One, you're right.
and that's all. And that's that white privilege because they
Yeah,
thought they were white.
yeah.
They thought they were white. You
Because
know,
you
I can
submerge
do
yourself much
anything.
into
Everybody has a price.
Mhm.
Everybody has a price. It's like
That's
no, you're not white, and you will always be reminded that you're not white.
Yeah, very true. Very, very true.
Yeah, my dad gave me this new blender oil to try. No.
Hell no. Go somewhere with that
Mm.
goddamn shit. Yeah, but that's it. That's all that's all I got.
You say money,
And
so yeah, BS was right.
yeah, pretty much. Anybody got any oh no, I got one more thing. So I did see Sinners
Oh, because I was going to remind you, I was going to
last
let you
weekend.
let you kick in.
I did see Sinners this past weekend, so we can discuss it. If you haven't seen it and you don't want to hear about it, then this is your time to exit. But if you have seen it, please, I want to hear your thoughts. So go, and then I'll say mine.
Who,
'Cause
me?
I'm first. Yes, you go first.
Oh, as far as what I enjoyed the movie,
Right.
it was definitely worth watching. A lot of the references that I found were from older people that were in my family, relatives, things like that, and
Right.
just old folk in general. A lot of the things that we do,
Right.
that stem from that. Like I said, so it was a good story.
Yeah.
Had a lot of hidden meanings in it.
Mm.
And like I said, you just had to watch it maybe a couple of times. Maybe once if it hits, once it hits, streaming services and things like that. I'm not saying you should go out and bootleg, but
Right.
any means necessary. Because it is definitely worth
Especially
it.
after
It
you
is.
support it.
Yes, after you definitely support it. Oh, it's like, isn't it like it had picked up some other accolade today?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I can't remember on what.
Right.
But it's like the most whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then too, you know how this year's been kind of boring movie wise anyway.
Yeah, so tell me about it. We're on every Tuesday at this 8:35 Tuesday. And then sometimes I'll occasionally go by myself so that way I don't get anybody in trouble. Okay. When I do my other commentary on stuff. But anyway, go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
But like I said, it was a very good story.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of hidden meanings.
Yes.
You definitely have to like I said, you have to see it multiple times to catch them.
Yeah.
And then some of the things you already knew because of just our culture.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of it. It's like, boy, I hadn't heard that word in years.
Right.
Like like what's a Hank.
I never heard that.
Hank.
That was new to me.
I'm probably pronouncing it wrong because I ain't Southern.
Yeah.
But it's a spirit.
Yeah.
It's an evil spirit.
Evil spirit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I do remember a lot of those stories about, certain things you do don't bring, you invite or allow spirits into your home, that type.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I did. I really enjoyed the African Yoruba religion inferences on a lot of stuff. Bringing it home to like we all didn't lose our religious culture from the
Well, I pronounced it right. Thank you. Because I wouldn't. Because I even had to spell. I had to spell it to myself to because it's not a word that we use. So I'm not sure whether or not I was pronouncing it right. But I do remember hearing about that stuff. Especially when you're down the country and all y'all do is sit on the porch because they got those street lights. I mean, in the country, everything pitch black. You better not walk off that. That was one way of probably keeping your ass on the porch. You walk out there, that Hank gonna get you, snatch your ass away, and they'll never see you again. That kind of stuff.
I would be scared out of my mind. But
old folk tell you all kinds of shit. They mind fuck you back in them days.
I definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed the history references. I was really personally looking because I know this. I forgot the black man's name, but he was talking about how it was so racist and all this kind of stuff. So I was really looking for where was the racism. So I really was like, enjoying it, but looking for the racism. Then I said, oh, I see where the racism is in his eyes. It showed the actual of white people and how they were just eons ago. It's not been that long to
No.
where in which,
Mm-mm.
of course, there's a situation where these two black men, twins, Michael B. Jordan plays both characters. Great job, Mr. Jordan, because that was awesome. Because at one point, I'm really thinking there's two fucking people in the room because it was really just that intense with them playing back and forth that I really just thought it was two separate folks. But anyway, they buy this mill to open up a juke joint, but they buy the mill knowing that it is used as a fun day, field day, killing spree for the local clan. There is no clan no more when they feel the need to then go at it. And so they would sell this mill and constantly, have a field shooting day after it was over, and whoever was left there drunk and hungover, they kill him.
Mhm.
So
Oh, as we were saying, they were flipping. They
yes,
were flipping the
right.
mill.
They were flipping the profit of the mill.
Mhm.
So when they sold it, they told him, they said, don't bring your clan buddies around here either, because if they step foot on here, we're going to kill every last one of them. And the man said, clan? Ain't no clan no more. And it just made me think of how people say, oh, racism. There's no race. This is not a racist country. Blah, blah, blah. There's no clan. There's no white supremacy. There's no this. There's no that. And lo and behold, fast forwarding, of course, to the who pays a visit to the good old mill in droves, ready to light fire and have shooting practice with bodies, but them. Oh, but they had a guest that was waiting for them. But I really enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the horror part of it too. I just did like this one scene, and I'm gonna say it because it got so under my skin. One, I don't like the kind of music kind of build up for me. I don't do it. Just do it. Just jump out and do it. All the build up to the music, because I'm waiting, like, go ahead and do it. But when they were inside, safe inside, because the monsters couldn't get inside unless they were invited in, right? And the Asian lady husband was outside. We already know King Chong or Ho Ho Hing Hing, whatever his name was dead. We dead, long gone. She got frustrated, and I thought she was gonna start lighting a damn Molotov cop ballers, boom, just blowing up shit. I thought she was gonna go Rambo and just throw shit out the door. No, she's bring your asses in here. Why the fuck would you say that?
Oh,
Everybody,
easy. Let me tell you why.
please do.
Okay. Remember at the door. Remember the scene. The one you see now. You see this scene all the time where is it cornbread?
Yes.
Oh shit, I got that shit right. I was going to call them sausage or some shit. But when cornbread, okay, when they were having the dialogue
Yes.
around in that scene, if you notice
Is that when the white
when
people first came?
um when they came back, once they kind of realized what they were dealing with, and they kind of the girlfriend, I don't remember, and is it Annie? Annie was
I
the
think so.
was the root was
Was that
the hoodoo.
oh
That the larger woman, you seen
yeah,
her,
okay.
larger dark skin. Yeah.
Mhm.
She once she identified what they were dealing with,
Mhm.
um, and she said, "Oh, I've read about them. I've never come in contact with them."
Right.
But he was playing off of everybody's desires.
Right.
The Oriental woman, the Korean woman,
Mhm.
after they got her husband, first of all, she felt bad because she sent him out there to the
Well, there's
car.
still are, right.
Okay, but she still had her daughter at home, and that's what he was playing off of.
Both of right.
We're gonna go back
Go get your
home
and get your
and
daughter.
get your daughter, and
Yeah.
that's what she was worried. He was playing on their fears.
Right.
Everybody's fear, their fear, their
Right.
desires. You
Right.
wanted money, that
Mhm.
type of thing. I give you money. See, look at
Right.
this. It's like I've never even seen this kind of coin
Right.
before.
Before,
You
yeah.
know, and he said, "Haven't seen it yet." Raise your hand when you're done. Okay, I'll do that. So you can unmute.
Right.
But yeah, he was playing off of. I mean, because all of them, even the twins,
Right.
each one had
One
different
had a
desires.
different desire, yeah.
One was he wanted to be rich.
Right.
The other one, I guess they just wanted to get along,
Right.
that type of thing. But they were,
Just wanted to have his
they both
business
they
kind of
yeah
laid
they
out.
had their goal, and that's
Right.
why they came back. They came back home. But
Mhm.
you know where they got their money from? And this is kind of woven into real life. That when they came back from Chicago,
Mhm.
they had stolen all that liquor
One
and stuff
from
from
Al
from
Capone.
two groups.
Yeah.
Right. That was the St. Valentine's Day massacre that they caused up there.
Oh, okay.
In the movie, look at it should be not the opening credits, or maybe it was the very end. Did you stay to the very, very end
Yeah.
where you saw where what's his name, Sammy?
The brother came back. Right. Sammy was sitting at the
Yeah,
bar.
he was at the bar. Okay. And
Mhm.
then I think they might have had like a montage of newspaper articles.
Yeah. Yeah. They said
Okay.
they always enjoyed his playing, but they liked the old stuff.
Yeah.
And they
Because
kept all
now,
of these articles and things.
now the bar was named after the woman that
The
he had the
woman that
affair
he had
with.
affair with, right? That was Mary. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And shit, I forgot my train of thought. Wait, I'm so wrapped up in this shit. Um
So we were talking
in
about
the articles, the article, you had to read the articles. Okay, they told you how the vampire got there. There was a ship that came in where everybody was found dead. That's how
okay.
he got to. That's how he came from Ireland
Okay, got
when he
it.
escaped, because everybody was like,
Right,
he's Irish.
right.
But during that time and period, you
There
had
was right,
just everybody was
right.
pretty much down there, except
Yeah,
for Hispanic people.
right.
That type of thing. So he was there. It's like, well, how did
Right.
this vampire get here to the States? Because he
Right.
still had a thick Irish accent.
He was river dancing.
Yeah.
Then he was river dancing, literally. Like I was like, what the fuck is
But then too, he was kind of like building a collective
right?
where he was absorbing their thought.
Yeah, building
Once
that thought,
they had like a hive mentality,
yeah,
because once he turned them, he
yeah,
knew everything
everything. Yeah, he knew all of their business
about them.
secrets. Yeah,
And he wanted to be able to do this by using Sammy's music,
right. Yeah,
because you can draw with that
you could
music. You
reach
can
people.
draw the masses,
Yeah, yeah,
because all of those people um, during the club scene,
right.
those were the people that left.
The left. Yeah,
All the patrons.
yeah.
And you turn around, it's like, oh, they all standing there and they're
Yeah,
doing the jig. Now to
yeah.
show that they had a hive mentality, when the music was playing and it was like they were all out and they were all out dancing in the circle and everything.
Mhm.
Notice how they all collectively started to do this Irish jig,
Irish dance.
river
Yeah,
dance.
yeah.
They
Mhm.
started doing that.
Yeah,
But
very true.
yeah, let's see. They stole the money. The boat, showing that that's how he got there. And
Mhm.
that's what he was pretty much after. He was pretty
Yeah,
much, he wanted to turn as many people as he could
Good. Yeah.
in the whole thing. And those the Indians that came in
Mhm.
that were chasing the Irish guy,
Right.
it's like they knew. I'm sure that they were from that area and they knew that the Klan was down there and everything
Right.
else. White people, the Klan's gonna do what they want to do. They're not gonna listen
Right.
to these Indians,
Yeah.
that type of thing. It's like,
Yeah.
well, just don't invite them in. And it's like, oh, well, too late now. But
Right.
the question I had with them, what happened to the baby? There was a baby in there. There was a crib.
In the truck?
No, not in the trunk. In the when he went when you first see him approach the house, the Indians
Oh.
were chasing him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did they eat? Did they kill the baby? Did they leave the baby? They probably killed the baby. So was the baby running around? you
Or was
know.
the baby already dead? And maybe they just kept the crib.
Yeah, I was wondering if they just. It had happened so fast.
Yeah. Yeah. But then
So
I would think the
and
baby would have
you didn't
turned.
hear a baby crying. Yeah, I just figured the baby turned. But what do you do with a
Yeah.
vampire baby?
Vampire baby, right.
It's going to die if it doesn't feed.
Right.
It's not as though the woman, because those were the three
Yeah.
that showed up at the door originally.
Right.
It's not as though she was holding a baby or anything.
Mm-mm. And it wouldn't grow. So it was like
No, yeah, it wouldn't. It would never change. Whatever
wouldn't
the age was when it turned. Yeah,
So that was
but
interesting.
yeah, it's a lot of hidden stuff in there. But they had
Yeah.
tied it all in
Yeah.
with that. That type of
Sharecropping
thing.
and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
It's deep.
and Cornbread's wife.
Yeah.
I'm sure she felt bad.
Right.
Yeah, I guess there was no bodies left.
Yeah. Well,
So pretty much the story from Sammy, and that
yeah.
would have been about it.
Yep.
Because she was pregnant, and she was the one that told him to go make that money.
Mm-hmm. Very
So,
true. And maybe I'm thinking Sammy probably for years gave some of his money to a lot of the families.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it was a
was
lot of the
pretty sad for
sharecroppers
people,
were there.
yeah.
I mean, because look at
Mhm.
and then
How they
it
were getting
showed.
paid.
Yeah, I was going to say what is actually valuable to you, because
Right.
a lot of those sharecroppers, they were
Didn't have
paid like
much.
wooden nickels,
Nickels.
which
Yeah.
were literally wooden nickels.
Yeah.
So you deem what's important to you. Gold, they didn't even know what this gold doubloon.
Right. Yeah.
I've never seen that. They say I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
But what is it exactly? What's the worth? They didn't even know what was worth.
Right.
Solid gold.
Well,
But the girl Pearlie, I was like, boy, you could have been too faithful to your husband. It ain't take you long.
It sure didn't.
Because that boy went to town on her. I was like, ooh, I hope she washed up.
Right. She said, I walked all the way here. I need to wash
I know. I can tell. I can smell the miles.
I can smell the muscle. I just want to taste you. I said, oh God, here we go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
That must be, it tastes like gumbo.
High in sodium. High in sodium. A lot of sodium.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised that didn't kill him. That high blood pressure would, all that.
Yeah, but it was definitely. It even talked about colorism and the difference.
Yeah.
It touched a lot of things. It really did.
Yeah, and that girl thought she could pass enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That her whiteness, she thought her whiteness.
Right. She was gonna be able to go to them and
get that money for them.
Get that money for them. Yeah.
Because remember the one that she eventually the one brother that she was with. How he reminded her that the only reason why you're married to this rich white man is because he don't know you black. Right. You have black.
Yeah.
Because they'd run your ass out of town.
Right.
And
I'm not trying to get you killed. And
right. And that's why he left her alone in the first place.
Right.
Because she's like, you just up and left and whatever. It's like,
but she refused. That white part of her refused to be denied. Like, are you not gonna deny me? You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Mhm.
he's not denying you. He's saving your freaking life, but you
Yeah.
too,
You're too
you too
young
young
to understand, and you
understand.
don't. And by you not being that immersed
In what's
in
going on.
black culture, you don't
Right.
understand that once they deem you soiled goods,
Right. That's it.
you
Yeah.
a nigga's a nigga's a nigga. No matter how
Right.
light a nigga you are, you
Right.
buttery cream nigga, you still a
Right.
nigga.
Right.
You know. But we got to remember too. That's back during that
Time.
the two the one drop rule.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
they flipped everything. It used to be you were considered whatever your father was,
Hmm.
but slavers
Right.
flipped
Started
it and said what?
impregnating. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
they suck because
Mother.
they were
They were because
enslaving their own
they were
children.
busting all types of nuts in these women. So to
Hmm.
ensure that the the
The children
boys
don't have any right.
don't have any rights to the land, plantations, and so on and so forth, they switched it to the mother. So then therefore they can walk around busting all types of nuts in all these women, and it doesn't matter. It'll be a slave anyway. So it's just ridiculous.
Mhm.
And speaking of
Their own
slavery,
children.
that
Own
plantation
children.
brings me
Keep that in
around.
your mind. They did that to their own
Oh,
children.
children, yes. Well, would they even consider them to be their children, though? For real, for real? I don't think
Oh,
so. Though.
they always look. It's always that illegitimate bastard child,
Yeah,
But they knew who it was. They knew
right,
who Daddy was.
right,
He
right,
got
right.
your eyes.
He do indeed. He do indeed.
Mhm.
So, but anyway, yeah, just absolutely crazy. But yeah, it was a good movie. I enjoyed myself. I really did. I had a good time.
Told you.
But yeah, it was good. And that's all I got because it's 2 hours and 11 minutes. And of course, it's that time for me.
That's right. You gotta go to work, make
Yes,
that money,
yes, for sure.
so
It's
you can get a
about that
Subaru.
time. Yeah. I don't drive a Subaru
Not yet.
at all. Okay. At
Mhm.
all. But anyway, as always, it's a pleasure. You guys hanging out with us. We're done talking about the movie. So if in fact you wanna
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
yeah.
You can unmute. You can unmute. I
um
totally forgot.
but yeah.
You'd be watching the ending credits, and we still.
So they let me know. It's always a pleasure. Thank you guys for hanging out. Again, if you come across any stories, my thank you to Haitian Princess for dropping the email. Please leave
Thank
me an
you.
email message or anything like that. If you find me on Instagram, you can definitely find me on Instagram. You can put your stories there. I get tons of stories, and thank you so much to all the people that when they see something either funny or something I need to pay attention to, you definitely send it to me. I definitely look at everything. Some things don't make it here because, of course, we already get, our asses handed to us for the stuff we talk about. But I do still enjoy everything that you send. Any last words, brother, before we head on out of here?
No, nothing. Just stay aware.
Yes, please stay very much aware. Don't forget about the yogurt recall.
Yes.
Check that out because it's definitely important. You know, we got to be careful what we eat, especially when you got the person
Oh,
in charge
yeah.
of watching the shit on the Brits. So,
Yeah, because we don't have any places. We don't have the government agencies in place anymore that catch that stuff early enough.
yeah. So,
So.
yes, I don't know. But until next time, beautiful people, that's all I got. So, peace out. Good night.